Go live.
Go, go, go. Hello. We're live. We're live.
It's live. It's not saying it. Is it live?
Yep, we're live.
Okay.
I am live, and Cheryl's had a transformation today. She's come in the form of Yvette Pickard. Hello everyone. Welcome to Happy Peak of the Week, Happy Hump Day, whatever you want to call it. Yvette and I are here to share some inspiration, some insight, because Yvette we call her our Marketing Maverick. Like, she does marketing differently to how other people do marketing. And that's actually in our book, Become the Real You, as well. And last night graduated as a mind coding practitioner.
Yay! Oh my goodness, it was such a cool night.
It was a really good night. So we've come in today. We want to share some info with you. If you're here, say hi. If you're live, say hi so I can see your comments. Tell us where you're watching us as well. But today we want to talk about something really important. It is why mindset is more important than marketing. And the reason this is so close to our hearts is we see lots of people, especially new in business, spending a lot of money on marketing funnels, getting their website perfect, all the things. And I'm not saying these things aren't important. However, getting your mindset right and how you think about it first is crucial. And a lot of people try and skip this step and they think, well, when I've made money and when I'm successful, then I'll sort my mindset out. And it's like, it's really the other way around. But I wanted Yvette to explain this from a marketing perspective, a marketing genius perspective, of why that is so important for you to do, and to share some of her insights as well. So, hey Louise, watching on LinkedIn. It was so cool. I met Louise in the flesh now because she came to our event in London on Friday, and it was so epic to have her in the room. So, mwah.
Oh, right. She's a powerhouse too, isn't she?
100%. So it is, isn't it, Yvette? It's so important that you get your mindset lined up before you start spending a fortune on your marketing.
Well, do you know what? It's before, during, and after, to be honest. Like, the mindset thing is throughout, really. It's not just like a one and done thing at the beginning, but I have always said, when I set my business up, the amount of clients that I had come to me, or the amount of people that have come to me that have spent, and I'm not saying like these people that are selling these courses are terrible. They're not, absolutely, because what they've got is they've got a solution that helps you with the thing, but it's like this much of marketing. It might be like a LinkedIn course, or a social media course, or a I don't know, how to write good emails course. And that's like this much of marketing for a start. So when I started, I was like, oh, okay. Like, and then when I started chatting to people, what I noticed was, or to clients, was that a lot of clients people don't have confidence in what they think they know about marketing. And a lot of the time people know a lot more than they think that they know. And then what sort of came into it was, actually, they'd gone on whatever courses, and it is okay, here's the structured way to launch a funnel, here's the structured way to launch a course, here's the structured way to do whatever the thing was. And actually, it was when we tapped into, well, what is it that you want to do? Like, is this in your zone of genius? Are you someone who performs well on video? You know, and we got into the mindset of, what identity do you have to have? I've got the wording for it now because I've been through mind coding. I didn't speak like that before, which is great.
I don't know you used to speak. Pre-mind coding, how did you speak?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I can't even remember what I said. I can't remember. Oh, hi, Karina. Oh, Karina's amazing. Yeah, so it's just people, it's the confidence and the stuff that sits under it to then give people the gumption to actually do the tactical things. Because everything that you do in marketing, really, they used to say, when I did my my postgrad, they were like, oh, marketing is like an art and a science. And I'm like, yeah, how am I going to sell that to the people that are going to give me the budget to do what I need to do? So but yeah, I think in short, tapping into that and getting people to understand that on an energetic level, and I talk about this a lot, but I have better words for it now since doing mind coding. I always say, my belief is we are one. And when you have an intention behind whatever communication you do, whether it's through your social media, your emails, your whatever, people will feel it. So if you're coming from a place of, oh shit, I've been told to do this. This is the course that I went on. I'm going to give it a go. Let's just see it. Like, people will feel that. Like, people will feel it in your communication. So, and once you've got that right and that inner knowing of what it is that you want to do, it actually doesn't matter. I know this is going to like do me out of a job, but it actually doesn't matter how you market, because you're going to come from that place of like, like the guts of you. You're like, yes, I'm trying not to really swear at the moment, but do
it, swear.
But when you come from that place of really fucking, this is it, this is the juice of life, I know that I'm meant to be doing this, this is what my purpose is. Actually, how you say it, how you turn up, yes, there's some great marketing tactics that get you more visible, this, that, and the other. I promise you, none of that matters unless you've got that kind of that galvanizing force, that intuition, that kind of tapped inness, inside of you. So yeah.
And the reality is, Karina's like, swear, come on, Yvette, swear. This lovely left bomb. But the thing is as well, and we teach this, don't we? And we'll talk about mind coding in a second for those of you who want to understand exactly what it is that we're talking about. But what we teach and what you know and what you embody is that you can't manifest or create something in your real life that you don't believe. So if you don't believe in a funnel, it doesn't matter how good that funnel is.
Yeah.
Your subconscious mind will prove itself right, and it will manifest a funnel that doesn't work. Yeah. Which is why I say, if there's any children, cover your ears now. But it's why I say fuck the funnels. Because the funnels don't work if your belief in the funnel doesn't work. Or you can take somebody else's funnel or sales process or discovery process or Instagram, and it'll work for them, but it might not for you, because you have this, God, what if it doesn't work for me? What if I'm not good enough? Or this has to work because I need the money. And like you said, all that energy, because everything is connected.
Yeah.
Energy flows through with that activity. It's not separate from it because it's coming from you. So that's the energy of, it's not going to work. I haven't got money. She looks different to me, and I can see why it works for her. So I hope it works for me. That energy translates and travels with everything that you then touch from that energy, doesn't it? So
100%. And I think, one of the things that really landed with me, you used it last night, you can't solve a problem from the end
thinking.
Yes. Yeah.
And so solve a problem from the same level of thinking as the problem itself. So
which was it was Einstein, wasn't it? An Einstein quote. And when, like, allowing for, if you are new into business or you've been in business a few years and you're having to like revamp or pivot or whatever it is that you're doing, allowing for those nerves and acknowledging that, great, but understanding that it is, I want to say physical process, but it's not, but it feels like a physical process when you recreate that identity, which is, I am showing up in this space. This is my zone of genius, whatever your business is. You, I know we talk about this and it's like, whatever, it's like, it is a timeline jumping. It is, you've stepped out of one identity and literally stepped into another. And what's lovely is you actually leave all of that stuff. It becomes easy. It's like a decision. It's all of the stuff, the mind monkeys and everything gets left behind because that's not in your reality right now. So that's something that's really sort of blown my mind. And also, we always talk about the models, don't we, that we came away with, and everybody talks about the catch it, challenge it, change it model. I love that because it now runs so quickly in my head. It's like catch it, challenge it, change it, and I've got your guys' voices.
Well, because catch it, challenge it, change it is one of the models that we teach. So just to back up a little bit, mind coding is our accredited certification. So
we didn't even introduce it.
I think because not everybody understands what it is, right? And I think because we use it all the time. So just to frame what it is. So mind coding is an accredited certification. It's 130 CPD hours, which is sort of like the equivalent of going to uni for a year, there or thereabouts. And it's a program where we teach you over a number of modules, different ways to change how you think from a spiritual, intellectual and energetic perspective. So we're covering off all different levels of learning, because we have our subconscious, our conscious, and our physical. So we have to teach you at each level how to recode and rewire. So for those of you who are interested in, for example, like the neuroscience of how you change your brain, we cover that so you understand like how your actual technology is working. For those of you who love to understand universal law and how that applies, we're teaching you from a spiritual universal law, metaphysical perspective, and a quantum physics perspective. And then we're teaching how change happens in your body, in your physicality, in your cell, like actually in your cells. I would teach about epigenetics, so that however, whether it's with yourself or you're working with other people, wherever they're coming in at and whatever works for them, because everybody likes to think on one of those levels or multiple of those levels, you have the tools equipped and the information and knowledge and wisdom to be able to explain to them and take them through a process. So like in Yvette's case, Yvette's not a coach, but actually your world, Yvette, when somebody comes in going, well, I want to make more money and I want to build my audience and I want to have impact, they don't feel confident, they don't feel competent, they don't feel like qualified or whatever. It's like you're trying to sometimes push a boulder up a hill on, you're trying to get a client to where they say they want to be, but they've got a lot of fear and resistance because they haven't got the self-worth or the self-belief, or they think the market's not good, or right.
And there's nothing that breaks my heart more than, you know, getting a client to a point where they're about to launch something, whether it's a course or a website or their business or whatever, and their mind monkeys have got in their way and they pull it, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sad. Or they've had a launch and it hasn't gone the way they wanted it to, and they just think, that's it, I'm packing up, I'm not doing it. So you know, because I've been in your world for quite a while, I had some of the language where I could help with that, but it was more like me encouraging, and that's actually quite draining from my perspective as well, because not only am I doing the job of being like creating a marketing strategy for you, and with some clients, like actually, you know, my company does the execution of that. Equally, I was there kind of like having to be the cheerleader, whereas now, like, we can get some of this stuff out of the way early on by using these tools. And, you know, I've started certainly with the clients, the newer clients that I'm bringing in on like my strategy days and stuff like that, we tackle mindset. I don't tell them we're doing this, but you know, it's clear to see. And I've got this whole tool bag of tools that just, I can kind of go, right, okay, they're having a little bit of a problem with XYZ with their confidence, or this, that, or the other, or they've had like bad experiences, or actually they're in a lot of judgment of themselves and others and how the industry is. Okay, I've got some stuff about judgment that I can do. But I think to your point of what you were saying, because my other background is I'm quite spiritual, and so I find it really easy when I see courses that are, they contain a spiritual element, I'll jump in with both feet. What I was struggling a little bit with, even though I've read all the books and is when I'm then teaching Kundalini yoga or doing any sort of sessions with corporates and what have you, is to actually explain the neuroscience side of it. And what I loved was the way that the modules are laid out, is that everything builds on everything. So and it's not like you start at the beginning and you end at the end. It's like a continuous circle, but it makes real sense how you work through those things. It's like imagine the biggest problem you've got in your life now, the biggest thing that you want to tackle, whatever that is. It's like having that as like, okay, here's the thing. And then the tools in mind coding, actually, rather than trying to do all of the things around this problem to then move you forward, it actually just kind of almost takes a step back to kind of go, like a computer, like what's the programming here that is actually like, that has actually caused this, and therefore changing that to get a different result, which for me has just been phenomenal in all aspects. So
I love that. I'm just going to see what Wendy's saying. I'm on a call. I've just seen this and we'll definitely get back to replay. Oh, yes, watch it later. You're on a call. Do some work, Wendy Molyneux. Wendy was the first ever person to sign up to Mind Gordon, which she was literally fastest finger first. So last night was a really special night because the class of 2024 graduated, and Yvette was one of them. Wendy was there too. And for Cheryl and I, it was just so emotional going around everyone and hearing the impact it's had on them. And like Yvette, like even though she's been in our world, she's been coached by us, Yvette's in the book, like I said, it's like to be coached and understand the tools as the coachee is very different to then. We call it like coming behind the curtain in the Wizard of Oz, and we're like, this is how the tool works, but we give you the information on what it is, how it works, why it works, and where you would use it, and then you practice the tools as you go, and don't you, so that all the way through you're implementing tools, so by the end of the program actually you're really well versed in them. And obviously it's like everything, the more you use them, the more you practice them, the more momentum it builds. But what you all found was personal transformation.
Yeah.
From learning the tools, thinking I'll get these from my business because it'll be great to give this accredited CPD certification. It's a really great trust tag. But you as well, even though you've been in our world a lot over these years, you've had some significant shifts in your identity, haven't you? And how it's affected you in like all areas of your life, which has been beautiful. And like, do you want to share any of them? Because I think it's so inspirational.
Oh, bless you. Yeah, no, I think one of the ones that's probably top of mind is my health journey. So, you know, I was right at the beginning of when we started mind coding. I was like, right, okay, I'd like to get on top of my health. And I mean that from every aspect. It was from my weight, from my exercise, my food, my vitality, you know, how I showed up, you know, boundaries around things like sleep, you know, the whole shebang. And the identity ladder piece was what got me. And through this process, I've now released 4 stone of weight, still going. I gym every morning and I love it. It's not that I go there and I think, oh, I've got a gym or whatever. I said to myself at the beginning of the process, I want to be that person that actually this is just part of my life, and it is, and I love it. And I go in there.
Yeah, like do it because it's like I'm a healthy person from that identity, rather than I'm here because I want to lose weight or I want to like get fit, or I'm not. It wasn't from any of that. I'm not. It's from like, this is who I am. It's what I do. It's how I show up. And oh my God, you have literally kicked ass.
Oh, thank you. But that's what it is. Oh, thank you, Karina. Oh, Karina's so lovely. She works with me. I collaborate with her in my business. She's my social media manager. So if you need a social media manager, hit Karina up. She's amazing. But yeah, so from that perspective, also, you know, just from like relationships, like my relationships with my family and my friends, just another level, because I've stepped, I know I say this and I'm saying the words and it doesn't feel like it's doing it justice, but that whole kind of like stepping into a different identity, I truly feel like any of that stuff that was getting in my way, particularly with my health and that, is just, it doesn't feel relevant. It doesn't feel like it was me. It was like something else that happened over here, you know. But then equally, you know, I've always had that balance of, I've got a beautiful marketing business, which, by the way, I've never once done social media for. Sorry, Karina, I know we're working on that now, but you know, I have built my business, and as much as I do that, oh, thank you, Mel. As much as I do that, you know, for clients, I don't do it for myself. And what that for me was like, oh, okay, I can actually put some context around that now. But then the other side of the business, you know, how I show up as a Kundalini teacher, a breathwork teacher, a meditation teacher, that's all just popping off left, right, and center, because I've actually, you know, in my mind, I'm now the person that can turn up at a retreat overseas and teach, you know, if that's what I want to do, and I do, you know. And so yeah, I've had like a few bookings going for next year, which I'm really excited about. And yeah,
amazing bookings, like for nationally recognized companies, inquiries for international speaking events, like it's all popping off literally. Like, yeah, we just, when Yvette works in our team and does our marketing campaigns for us and launches, and it's so fascinating. Like, we were in a team meeting before this and just like rattling off, oh, when this is happening, this is happening, oh, when this has happened. And you've like moved across the country as well, because you realized how important environment was to you, and like space, and like literally your whole life has undergone on all aspects of overhaul. Like you've got much clearer about like your vision of where you want to take the brand and what you want to be known for. And even though you felt pretty clear on that, it's like 10x the vision, hasn't it?
Well, yeah, it's weird though, because I was clear on that for sure. And then you go through this, like I was going through this, I knew change was coming, and this course came at exactly the right time. Actually, that's a good thing to talk about time as well, because like we're all super busy. If we look at the girls that were on that call last night and the stuff that they've got going on, like, I mean, people with kids, I don't know how, like, but hello. But the time element that you put into this mind coding is fantastic, because it did, we all talk about the magic of how time just appears, but we started out, we had it was such a lovely group, and we were all very like, okay, we're going to do our mind coding circles. We got those in the diary, and I started to use my the homework sessions, or the growth work sessions, as my deeper like spiritual practice once a week. Like I meditate most days, but this, like once a week, I gifted myself a beautiful cup of tea, some peace, just something away from everything, off the laptop, to do the work. And then knowing that like on a certain time, on a certain night, we were going to be on the calls doing, the actual work itself. It just seemed, time just expanded. And even with like essentially running two businesses, because I've got the two elements of it, and helping, Colin with like some of his stuff as well, and everything going on with family, and I had a family bereavement in the middle of all of that. And, so yeah, like it is a time investment for sure, but it's weird because you get this like this buzz and this energy from it that kind of makes you, it's not like you come away from anything feeling drained. You actually feel, and that was the thing as well, because I think most of them were in the evening, wasn't it? And I was like, I'm never going to sleep. I'm never going to sleep. It was like having coffee. You know what I'm like on coffee as well.
It's so funny. And I think the way it's paced is you get your agenda, your itinerary up front, and it's like bite-sized chunks over the week, isn't it? So you're doing, you're watching a training call, and then you're meeting up with your coding circle. So you're in a group to practice, and then you're doing your own reflections and workbooks. So you can fit it in around your life, can't you, as much as you want to. But the thing that I really observed was, even though you're all busy, and like you said, you got people running businesses, multiple business with kids, people in corporate who don't manage their own diary the same way as we do, and they've all fit in and kept up to speed with it, because actually through the process, they've also got much clearer on what's important, where they want to spend their energy. They've spent less energy on things that drain them. Like they've kind of spiritually cleansed their life as they've gone through the process as well, haven't they? Which has been really interesting and a fabulous byproduct to see, because that's not something that we sort of talk about openly as part of it, but it's kind of happened as a what's the word, like a halo effect of going through the work. You get much clearer on what gives you energy, what drains your energy, and you do more of one and less of the other as you go through the process as well, which is really fascinating.
Yeah, really fascinating. What I loved about last night as well is just when we were listening to everybody's reflections on how this has impacted their life, just like the diversity of the different things, particular tricky relationships with families that have completely healed, actual physical ailments that people have been able to physically heal and be in a better place with, new businesses being birthed, old businesses being revamped, just and the connection as well, like that practice, being able to practice this as you sort of go along with your coding circle. But like loads of the girls were saying last night as well, and it was so lovely how they're carrying on and they're continuing on with their coding circles, even though they've graduated now, because they've built such a beautiful, close-knit group of people. So yeah,
well, it was like people were saying, well, it's like you come here and you find your people, people who are really passionate about personal development, people who want to have an impact, people who want to make more money and have a really abundant, thriving business. Like, we all come here because we want to expand. Like, you shouldn't have to have a great business at the expense of not making money. Like, we want you to have both the impact and the income at whatever level that sets your heart on fire. And if you're in corporate, we want you to be able to be fully in your power and expanding and getting the promotions or whatever it is that you desire in your corporate life. And some people came because they love personal development, and it was none of the above. They just wanted to go through this process for themselves. And especially some people who feel like their babies didn't do as great at school, or didn't enjoy school as much, or didn't get a degree, and then they're coming into this world to go, actually, I want to prove to myself that I can do it, to see what I take from it and just see what happens from the process. And that's been beautiful to witness as well. But I think it's like last night was really magical. Like we said, just hearing from all of these people from all over the world. You know, we had USA, Canada, UK, representing Spain. And one of the girls who's in the program has gone to Spain, where her code circle person lives, and they were together having a glass of wine doing the graduation.
It was so nice, wasn't it?
Which is amazing, because there are just these friendships, like you said, are forged through going through this process, and people will be friends for life. It's been so beautiful. So yes, I just think it's we want to know who the next class is going to be. So that was the class of 2024. The class of 2025 is open for enrollment now. And if you've got questions about the program, I've put the link in, and there's a full information page there telling you what's covered, the weeks. But if you've got any questions, drop us a DM, or if you think I'd love to do it, but this would be the thing that would stop me, come and chat it through with us, or chat it through with Yvette or one of the girls who've been through it. Because we want you to be all in. Like, when you come in, we want you to really be committed to the process. Everybody was in this group, and it's been brilliant just seeing people show up week after week after week. And because it's a live program, we're there with you, you're in a community, there are live Q&A calls. So there's a lot that we're doing to support you, to get you through the process. Like, we want you to succeed, we want you to graduate. And the class now, who starts in the middle of October, will graduate in March. So
I think one last thing to say that the girls brought up last night that is so important, that came out as such a theme as well, is that you're being told everywhere that there's no such thing as a silver bullet. And, like when you're considering going on a course and all the rest of it, there were so many of us last night that said, this is the silver bullet. You're okay. It's a time investment, and it's going to take you 6 months to get through it, but it's a bloody silver bullet. It is the thing,
Yeah, 100%. It definitely isn't all the free masterclasses and stuff that you're attending and downloading right now. And if some of the girls said that, it's like just the confidence, isn't it? It doesn't matter what the business challenge or the client challenge or whatever. It's like knowing that there is now something in your bag that will help with that. Like, they don't need to go anywhere else. Like, people are saying, like, I don't need to buy any more courses. That in itself is so liberating and freeing. So check it out. All the prices are on there, the itineraries on there. There's a payment plan to make it super easy. There's painful bonuses, and one of the bonuses that you do get, especially for those of you who are trying to get over that 6-figure mark, is the 0 to 100K program. And you get that, which tells you key things like, how do I get more clients? How do I have discovery calls? How do I make proposals? So if you're lacking confidence around those elements of your business, that bonus that you get when you join will really help you massively as well. And that's from mine and Cheryl's personal experience. So, and helping people like Yvette, who have a thriving business for 5 years now? 4 years? 5?
Yeah, 5 years, I think it is, isn't it? Yeah, no, 4 years going into the 5th. Yeah.
And has still never done advertising or any of that shebang. If you look at
I try to do it for my clients, not for myself.
You're trying to business. If you look at our social media, it's all about us. So
yeah.
And Louise is just saying, your story is really wonderful. I also want to stop prioritizing health this week. I've started to take action despite being busy. I love that. Time expands for what is important to you. And Cheryl and I are quite brutal about this. It's like, if you're not doing it, it's just not that important to you. And it's easy as women to keep putting everybody else above ourselves. I mean, there's one of our clients in there who had a really serious injury, and had been recovering for a long time, and said, had it not been for these last months of working in mind coding, knows that health would not have come on and improved the way it has. It is phenomenal when you see the results. It is incredible. So anyway, We're going to love you and leave you because we've yabbered on for half an hour here. Me and Yvette could be here all day. We're also coming live tomorrow. We've got another incredible client and a really inspirational story that we want to share with you. So come and join us live at 12 o'clock tomorrow as well. We're loving the lunchtime lives. This is like in COVID, wasn't it? Donna and Cheryl live every day.
Go back to the lunchtime lives in 2020. That was in 2021. That was awesome. Well, absolutely. COVID wasn't, but the lives were.
Definitely. So check out Mind Code and go and have a look at it. You might not want to do it this time, you might want to do it the next time, but I really want you to go and have a look at it and share it as well, because this is when enrollment closes. That is it, and people won't be able to enroll again until next year because they are live programs. Have a wonderful day. Happy Hump Day, and we will see you all very soon. Bye.